Lord of the Rings movies are some of the greatest pieces of cinema ever made, but I have a confession to make. I've never actually seen them. Wait, don't click off! With that said, I bet you I can summarize them pretty well. I've learned a lot about them from memes and stuff online. So I'm gonna summarize all of the Fellowship of the Ring without having watched it once. And for every 10 likes this video gets each week, I will do 1 push-up. So it all starts when Sauron, who I assume is wearing a disguise, gives some awesomely powerful rings to the main races. What do the rings do? They make you like better in every way, I think. Anyway, he gives a few to men, a few to dwarves, and a few to those stuck-up, pointy, knife ears, the elves. The dwarves are like, these aren't rocks or gems, yuck, rock and stone, and they toss them. And the elves are like, oh my god, these rings don't go with my outfits, I totes can't be seen wearing those, and they toss them. The power-loving men, however, wear the rings on their fingers and hopefully not anywhere else. I mean, the rings can change size, right? It's not impossible that one of them tried to slide it on something else. Well, unfortunately for the kings with those rings, Sauron made a master ring to rule them all. The One Ring. It can do what the other rings do, plus control the other wearers of the rings. Classic bad guys saving the best weapons for themselves. The elves and the race of men are not okay with this trickery, so they go to war against Sauron's army of goblins and trolls. During the final battle, Sauron is just wrecking face with his mace on the battlefield when he spots the human king. He bashes him down and goes in for the finisher with his ring hand like an idiot, and the king cuts off his finger with a broken straight sword like a Dark Souls challenge runner, and Sauron loses the ring. And since the ring is now a part of him, Sauron dies, and so does his army. Convenient. The king and elf agent Smith from the Matrix go to destroy the ring in the fires of Mount Doom. A+ naming, by the way, Sauron. It's all about branding for the bad guys. Gotta keep that image. But just before the king throws the ring into the lava below, he remembers something very important.
Wait a minute. I love power. And I hate knife ears. I'm keeping this.
And he walks out of the volcano. Why didn't the elves just push him in? No idea. Just say he tripped. Would have saved everyone a whole lot of trouble. Fast forward a few thousand years, and the ring ends up in Gollum's hands, and then in Bilbo's. All of those events happen in The Hobbit, which I heard was bad. So let's move on. Fast forward again, and it's Bilbo's birthday. How old is Bilbo? Real old. But he doesn't look it because he moisturizes. And maybe because of the Dark Ring of Power, but probably the moisturizer. For the party, Bilbo's good friend Gandalf the Wizard shows up to celebrate by smoking that good leaf and shooting fireworks. The Hobbit named Frodo is also excited to see the wizard so he can ask him how he got so tall, to which Gandalf replies, oh, that's easy. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day. Why did I make Gandalf like slightly Scottish? Even Russian would have made more sense. Why did I choose a Scottish accent? And a bad one at that. Frodo, not believing him, replies back with the iconic, fine, keep your secrets, meme. And now it's time for the party, and on that night, Bilbo gives the famous speech.
Half of y'all are terrible, and the other half are just okay. I guess I'll miss those half when I'm gone, but the rest of y'all can get bent.
And then he goes invisible. But you can't fool old Gandalf, as he's wise to these tricks, and he's all like,
Bilbo, did you put your finger in the Ring of Power?
Gandalf says calmly. Bilbo tries to hide the ring, but his arthritis starts acting up, and eventually he drops it and leaves the Shire. Frodo then shows up. Oh, look, a ring.
Hey, Frodo, nice ring. Wanna go on an adventure?
Oh, sure.
Awesome. Meet me in a tavern in a few months while I double check to make sure that this is the one ring or not, because it's been a few thousand years since we last seen it, so maybe it's not, but it probably is.
Okay.
Oh, and take this eavesdropping Sam with you too, since he overheard the entire conversation.
I am the best character in these movies, and everybody loves me. And so Gandalf goes to the library for a few months and, oh no, it is the One Ring! But he can't take on Sauron alone, oh no. So he goes to his good friend Count Dooku, Sauron. Did Tolkien really name one bad guy Sauron and then another guy pretty much Sour Man? He was destined to be evil, but Gandalf just doesn't know it. It's like the Digivolution line for bad guys.
Ah, Gandalf, those hobbits suck. They just smoke that good leaf and goon all day. If you want to be a Sigma like me, join the dark side with Sauron. Sigma? Goon? Saruman, have you been watching TikTok on your Palantir all day? It's rotted your brain. No you.
And then he proceeds to make Gandalf breakdance against his will and locks him away in the tallest tower in the land, waiting for his knight in shining armor to save him. Meanwhile, back at the Shire, Frodo and Sam start their journey to the meeting place, and Sam says,
"Oh, Mr. Frodo, this is the furthest from the Shire I've ever been."
And then suddenly, 2 more hobbits show up, and they're all like,
"Hey, we want to be in this movie too."
And they join the party. One of them is named Pippin, and the other's name I do not know for the life of me, so I'm just gonna call him Bippin. Good old Pippin and Bippin. So the party of 4 start their walk into the forest, when suddenly a ring wraith appears, and the gang quickly hides behind a tree. The wraith can sense where the ring is, but somehow can't be bothered to check behind a little bit of wood, so he makes like a tree himself and leaves. Now, if this was the books, this is where Tom Bombadil himself would appear, from what I heard online one time, and he is without a doubt the best character. But the films, they're way too cowardly to include him, so no Tom for us. And with a big Tom Bombadil-shaped hole in their heart, the hobbits make their way to the meeting place in a tavern where they meet the mysterious figure known as Strider.
"Hey, you hobbits, we can't stay here. We gotta leave before those ring wraiths find us."
Meanwhile, the ring wraiths are just destroying some beds and pillows in a completely different building. And without having second breakfast, the party of 5 run through the woods, but the spooky shadow men catch up to them. Frodo tries to hide by going invisible with the ring, but the wraiths, they have special eyes, so they can still see him and stab Frodo, but in the process, level up Frodo's defense to level 20. Before the wraiths can finish their PK, Strider, who is really Aragorn, throws a torch in their faces and they retreat. While on fire, Frodo isn't looking too good since the blade did special poison damage, so they need to take him to the elves for healing, because no ordinary healer will do, oh no. And wouldn't you know it, fortunately for them, they run into an elf lady on the way to a river. Who are you? I am a waterbender. Water horse, go! And then time passes. Frodo wakes up in the elf capital fully healed, and Bilbo has come to visit the ring. To visit Frodo. Definitely not here to see the ring or anything. Because Frodo has now reached level 20 defense, Bilbo gives him some mithril chainmail. Man, what a cheap jerk. Couldn't even spring for the plate body on the Grand Exchange. Oh wow, it can deflect anything you say. Well, guess what? You wouldn't catch me dead in Lumbridge wearing that. While Frodo was asleep, the various races show up to argue on how to deal with the Ring of Power, and even Gandalf himself shows up. Gandalf, where were you? I almost died without you. Why were you late?
"Oh, hey, you, Moth, come here a sec. I need you to send a message to the eagles for me."
Whisper, 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 whisper.
Okay, got it.
And now I wait.
America, fuck yeah!
I was, delayed.
And another thing, a wizard never comes late or early, you little manlet. He comes precisely when he means to.
What did you say?
I said a wizard never comes.
And so, at the meeting, everyone is arguing and yelling, and someone says, "Let's just walk to Mordor and throw the ring into the lava. What about that, guys?" And then Sean Bean says the famous line, "You don't just walk into Mordor." Man, I love Sean Bean. I sure hope he doesn't die by the end of this movie. And then everyone starts arguing some more on who will take the ring, because nobody trusts anybody with that kind of power. And this is when Frodo, getting tired of just all the yelling, says,
"Oh, just shut up, will ya? I'll take it. Oh, jeez. These movies are long enough as it is. We don't have time for this."
And everybody, confident that if he turns evil, they can easily take on a superpowered hobbit, agree to this. But he can't do it alone, so he'll have Legolas's bow, Gimli's axe, and his manly beard, Gandalf's staff, his magic, and all of his knowledge, Sam's Chad aura and his can-do attitude, Pippin and Bippin's comic relief and love of potatoes, Then there's Aragorn's sword, his skill in battle, and his awesome leadership. And Sean Bean's handsome face. And together they form the Fellowship of the Ring. Oh hey, would you look at that? It's the title of the movie. Now there are two routes the group can take. Either they can go through the Mines of Moria, or climb some mountains, which is quicker, but it's also really cold. Gandalf, being the impatient old man that he is, chooses the mountain climb. But before they leave, Aragorn has to flirt with an elf chick. Saruman notices that the group is climbing the mountains, and he starts to scream at the top of his lungs to cause some avalanches, forcing the group to turn around and head to the mines. But oh no, the entrance is locked. How will they ever get inside? Oh wait, never mind. They left a sticky note with the password on it, guys. All good. We're fine. The password's right here. Super easy. Oh, and there was a giant squid that attacked them too, but they did win. Walking in, Gandalf realizes he has no memory of this place and that the mines are abandoned, with the dwarves all being dead. This hits Gimli really hard, finding out that such a great location was devastated for so long. Which I'm really confused on. I mean, did nobody check out this place for years? The entrance has a very weak security code. I mean, that's not keeping anybody out. Anyways, the gang starts to wonder what could have done this when Pippin knocks over a skeleton, making a ton of noise. Gandalf calls him a fool of a took. Frodo's sword glows blue, and a bunch of goblins, orcs, and trolls just rush them.
Oh no, I sure hope I don't get stabbed again. Shh! Dang it!
But thankfully, Frodo was wearing that mithril chainmail, so he takes 0 damage. The Fellowship takes out some of them, but they can't take them all. Looks like this is the end of them. Oh wait, never mind, they started running away. I'm sure that's not a cause for alarm. We should probably run too. I got a bad feeling about that encroaching light source. And so the gang hoofs it towards the exit, and they make it to a very narrow bridge that fails all kinds of OSHA guidelines, and just as they cross it, they see what is chasing them. A Balrog, one of the coolest monsters ever made for cinema, and similar in power scaling to Gandalf the Grey, I think? Knowing he needs to stop this beast here and now, Gandalf tells the Fellowship to fly, you fools! And he tells the Balrog not to take another step. I mean, you shall not pass! And just then, the Balrog slips on an unrelated banana peel that has always been there and falls off the bridge. If that bridge had handrails, this never would have happened. Feeling accomplished, Gandalf turns to rejoin the party, but he slips on the same banana peel. OSHA guidelines are not a joke, people. They are there for a reason. Well, the rest of the Fellowship make it out alright, but they're down their AP carry, so it's not looking too good. Aw man, this journey sucks. Ever since I got this ring, it's been nothing but trouble. I wish somebody else would just take it from me.
Oh hey guys, how's it going?
Okay, so small aside, I have no idea who this is, but I do know that Frodo tries to give her the ring, and then she makes a very spooky, scary face. And then Gimli requests for just having a single hair from her head, but she gives him 3? Or maybe that's another elf? I don't know. Okay, back to the story. Noticing the Fellowship's weakened team, Saruman sends the Uruk-hai army that he grew himself to go and gank them to retrieve the Hobbit that has the one ring of power. Meanwhile, in the forest, Sean Bean realizes I haven't mentioned him nearly enough in this video and absolutely loses it. He tries to take the one ring for himself so he can get a bit more screen time, but Frodo slaps some sense into him. Realizing he can't trust anyone, Frodo decides to leave the party on a rowboat. But Sam can't leave Frodo alone, so he joins him, and you cannot say no to Sam, so Frodo lets him tag along. After he almost drowns, then suddenly the Uruk-hai attack the remaining party, proceeding to turn Sean Bean into a pincushion. Oh no, you're telling me that Sean Bean's character died in the movie? What a surprise! Then the Uruk-hai kidnap Pippin and Bippin because to them, all hobbits look the same.
That's racist!
Cancelled. And then one of the stunt performers almost kills Aragorn when he accidentally throws a knife at him. But fortunately, Aragorn deflects it at the last second. That actually happened. Look it up. Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn force the remaining Uruk-hai to retreat. However, they then learn from a dying Sean Bean that they have taken the little ones. And then he dies. Thanks to the nondescript nature of his final words, they think that this means that all of the hobbits, including Frodo with the One Ring, were taken, and that bums everybody out. And that's the end of the movie, I think. Seems like a sad ending, but it is just the first part in a trilogy, so I might be correct? I don't know, I've never seen it like I said. Let me know down in the comments what I got wrong. Also, let me know if you want me to try to summarize the other 2 movies from the memories I have from pop culture without having ever seen them. And thank you so much for the support on my last video, every YouTube channel type explained in 10 minutes. The next part of that video will be the next video that I'm making, so look forward to that. And hey, while you're here, maybe consider watching one of my other videos. Huh? Oh, and also, remember to like, subscribe, and stay awesome, y'all.